What's up, you guys? Welcome back, and if you're new, thank you so much for being here. My name is Jess, and be sure to smash that subscribe button before you go. Today's video, as you can tell from the title, is going to be jail versus prison. Now, the funny thing is, I think prison is 10 times better than jail. I'm just going to throw that out there, and I'll tell you why. But before I get into it, I'm not telling you to break the law. I'm not glorifying jails or prison. Prison is freaking horrible. Don't go there. It's not worth it. Seriously. But I will always share with you my opinions and what I think about the two, and we'll just go from there. So I've been in jails in a couple of different states. A lot of the time it was just like a couple of days or whatever, but I've done time in New York and I've done time in Arkansas. So I'm gonna break that down too, and what the difference is between Arkansas and New York, because there's tons of differences. But the first thing I want to share with you is jail is horrible. Jail sucks. There's no movement in jail. And in prison, you're kind of moving around the compound. It runs like a little city. Jail, no, you're not going anywhere. The only people that can really move around the jail are people that are trusted to be a trustee, which you think your girl contraband queen over here was ever gonna get a trustee job? No, absolutely not. Never gonna happen, ever. Even when I asked, they laughed at me. So if you're charged with a violent crime or a serious crime, they're not gonna let you do it. So I always had a gun and I was always going up, so not for me. Never had a trustee job in jail, and that drove me nuts because I have to work 10 times harder to get to the hallways in county jails to see the guys, or get kites, or get more contraband, or go to the nurse's station to get contraband, which was like my hustle. I was like Red from Shawshank Redemption, but like a lot cuter, you know? So yeah, jails are just kind of slow. The days move slow. No one can work. You're stuck there. You can't even leave to go get food. So commissary is brought into you. Chow is brought into you. And usually the food trays are cold. Like, they put them in this like metal cart thing and they hand them to you. And that metal cart is supposed to be a certain temperature, but your food is usually cold, like, honestly, which sucks. In prison, you walk to the chow hall. Sometimes you get to walk outside depending on the compound. So that was always like my favorite thing, was like walking outside if the facility had it. And I've been to 3 different ones. One of them had like you walked outside, the others didn't. So you get used to standing in lines in prison. There are no lines in jail except for like the phone or shower. Sometimes there'll be a line there. But yeah, lines in prison. Because there's more movement, because you go to the chow hall and everything and it's ran like a little city, you have to wait in line for everything. So in county jail, commissary is brought into you and you just go up to a little metal table, they write down, or they go through the list and they hand you your stuff. In prison, you go to the store, which is a really generous term for like room with like chips and shit, you know? But you have to stand in line. I think like a quarter of your time in prison is spent standing in line. So there is a little bit more movement, like I said. So commissary lines would be long, chow hall lines would be long, med lines would be long. So you just kind of had to suck it up and deal with it, because you're gonna stand in a line. If you wanna go to the rec yard, you're gonna stand in line. So, oh, speaking of rec yard, in jail, the rec yard was like this cement like room and you could see the clouds. That's it. Nothing else. It's outside technically, but you're just in like a cage, like a cement cage, and that drove me nuts. There was no grass, there was nothing. The only thing that would come in there is rain, and then maybe you get a couple of spare leaves that would just float over. Like, there's nothing, no wildlife, nothing, and that was horrible. And there'd be like maybe a basketball hoop if you're lucky. I have been to jails that have no basketball hoop, nothing. It's just the cement things outside. When you go to prison, the rec yard is actually a yard with a perimeter. So usually prisons have like 1 or 2 fences. Like, I've always seen them with 2 fences with barbed wire. So you can walk around the yard. There'll be basketball courts, picnic tables, and stuff like that. There's even like a little bathroom outside and they have like cement stalls, but the cement stall only comes to like, I don't even know, like here. So there would be that. And in Arkansas, we are not allowed to go to the rec yard every single day. They would have rec in the gym a lot of the times. So going outside to me was like amazing. It was peaceful. I loved being outside and breathing the fresh air. So that was like my favorite time of the day if the prison allowed us to go outside. New York, you go outside every single day for rec. Arkansas, nope. If there's not enough staff or they just don't feel like it, they're not gonna take you outside. And more often than not, they just didn't feel like it. So let's talk about haircuts. I get this question a lot, like, how do you maintain your hair? How do you do this? Can you style your hair? County jail, there is no barbershop. There is no one that is going to cut your hair. For women, it's not tailored to women. So you could get the clippers that the men have used on God only knows what, like you can get those clippers to cut your hair. This was also a prison hustle for me. I could do fades and I could do girl haircuts, layers and stuff with clippers. That's just a technique or a skill that I had learned along the way. So in prison, there's an actual barber shop with scissors, and trusted inmates are there cutting your hair. Some compounds will do like classes on it or whatever. I'm not exactly sure how you get that gig because I've never had that gig. So if you were a female barber or a hairstylist, if you're a girl, please let me know in the comment section down below. Do you like sign up for it, or do you need like a background in it? I have no idea because I was never given that job. So, but there's an actual beauty shop and you can get your hair cut, and some prisons have rules on the length of your hair. Arkansas had that rule. They made everyone cut their hair to here, and the guards would harass you and act crazy and be like, Kent, your hair's too long, go to the barber shop. And they would make me cut my hair so short. So since my hair is naturally curly, I would try to keep it as curly as possible, putting crap in my hair so it like scrunches up just so I could keep my hair length. Crazy. New York does not make you do that. So yeah, the entire compound in a prison is just ran like a little community, like a little city. You have a full library, you have a full barber shop, you have the store, you have a chow hall. Everything is different. It's just a completely different world. You know, just to stay on the topic of hair, in county jail, I could braid up hair. I could do cornrows. That was really like a big hustle for me. It was cornrows and stuff like that. But in prison, they don't like you to have anything unique. They don't like you to have hairstyles that look cool or whatever, and they'll make you take your braids out. And in maximum security prison, the guards do not want you touching another woman, whether it's just your hair. I would thread eyebrows in the county jail. They would not let me do that in prison. So I would have to sneak it in the bathroom to thread eyebrows in prison because they don't want you to do that. They would sell you like these little nasty like plastic clippers. What am I supposed to do with that? I can't do my eyebrows with that, so I would use string and I would thread them. You know, so it's just a completely different environment. Also in county jail, you just never know who's gonna come in. It's dirty. They don't give you cleaning products. It's not like ran the same way, right? So you could be in a cell with someone withdrawing, detoxing, throwing up, whatever. You could be in a cell with someone, I mean, it just doesn't matter, from any charges. So you're gonna have like the lowest of the low charges, like tiny misdemeanor charges, traffic violations, all the way up to homicide, murder, capital murder. So everyone's coming in the county jail. When you get to prison, you know like what your time is gonna look like, and it's just a different vibe, right? So you don't do laundry as much in the county jail. In prison, there's a full laundry like staff. Inmates will work in there, and there are tons of jobs in prison. So hopefully I broke it down for you guys a little bit, and I'm gonna make another video just on basic needs of women in prison, so that you guys can kind of start to understand how hard it is to be a woman in prison. And I don't think prisons have really understood that women inmates are climbing, I mean dramatically, right? So we need to have inmates, or we need to have facilities that tailor more to women, because you guys, the stuff that I have seen just to get my basic needs met is crazy, which I will definitely tell you in my next video. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, and I will see you next time.